Hello, champion. This is Coach Lisa Prudy, your cash flow queen, and I hope you're doing great. I am doing amazing. So, today I'm coming to you to talk about dating a high value woman. And before I discuss that and give you 7 ways that you can make a difference when dating a high value woman, or if your wife is a high value woman, how can you make her happy? I'm just going to discuss 7 ways that you can actually stand out in your relationship. But before I get started, let's first of all discuss what is a high value woman, right? Many people can give different definitions, but in my opinion, I think a high value woman is a woman who actually exemplifies 7 things, 7 characters that are very important. Number one is confidence, right? It's a woman who shows self assurance. She has faith in her own abilities. She's independent. She's emotionally and financially independent. She's strong in her sense of self-worth, right? This is a woman who's ambitious, driven, motivated, passionate about her goals and her pursuits. So she's not just waiting for somebody to come and save her. This is somebody who's happy in her own right. We're talking about a woman who's self-aware. And self-awareness is about understanding her own values, her own emotions and needs, and things that are important to her. Because if you don't know the values and things that are important to you, somebody's going to come and impose their own values to you, which may not align with what you would like. A high value woman has authenticity. Is a woman who is being true to herself. This is a woman who's not faking who she is. She doesn't have false pretenses and she doesn't apologize for who she is. If she likes fashion, she's fashionable and she doesn't argue about that. She doesn't need to explain why she's wearing Chanel earrings. She doesn't have to explain why she's driving a Bentley. She doesn't have to explain why she likes to vacation in expensive places. She doesn't need to explain why she's spending a lot of her money in philanthropic endeavors. Somebody who is true to herself and her character is a high value woman. And last but not least, a high value woman has high standards. And what I mean by high standards is somebody who is expecting respect from others, but also who shows respect to others. Somebody who's kind, who has good quality relationships with people, but who values her time, her energy, and she sets boundaries, right? So a high value woman would exemplify 7 things that I mentioned: confidence, independence, ambition, self awareness, resilience, authenticity, high standards, right? Somebody who is expecting respect from others, but who also shows respect, kindness, and who expects quality relationships from others. A high value woman values her time, her energy, and so she's not going to entertain any kind of BS. If what you're giving is not what she needs, she's going to walk away. She expects to be treated with respect and care, but she's not defined by material things, by external validation, by possessions. She's defined by inner strength and her character, right? And what she represents. This is a high value woman. So what do you do if you are in love with such a woman? If you want to date such a woman, or if you're already married and you find out that this is who you have as a wife, what would you do for your relationship to be a successful one? So I'm going to give you 7 ways to make your relationship work with a high value woman. So most people think that dating a high value woman or being married to a high value woman means that you have to have a lot of money. So a lot of people would define a high value woman based on money, based on possessions and material things. They couldn't be further from the truth. The truth is that money is just a means. It's just an instrument, but that's not the main factor if you want to really have a successful relationship with a high value woman. There are things that are very, very important that you have to show as a man. High value women, most of the time, are already leaders in their field. So they go out there and they have to show strength. They have to show character. They have to show charisma. They have to show leadership. And when they come home and when they go into their relationship, they do not want to have to do the same thing. They don't want to be in that masculine energy. They want to be in their feminine energy. They want to be in their softness. They want to be in their vulnerability. And they cannot do that if the person in front of them cannot carry them properly, right? They have to trust that if they're vulnerable, you can still, hold the fort and take things forward, right? And for that, you have to be a visionary. So you cannot expect submission from a woman when you don't have a mission that she should be following. If you're confused about your life, you're going to confuse her. And no high value woman wants to be confused. So to be in a successful relationship with a high value woman, you need to be a visionary, which means that you have to have clear direction and purpose that would inspire her. She wants to admire the person that she's with. She wants to be with a brilliant person who is more brilliant than she is. I didn't say have more money. I said more brilliant than she is. And brilliant people are not always rich, okay? And the second thing, she's expecting to have a leader. Women, contrary to what a lot of people think, especially high-value women, they like to be led. They like somebody who's a leader to show them the way as well, so that they don't come home and still be a boss. The third thing, they need a protector. When they go out there and they're hustling, they're doing all of those things, they're struggling with a lot of things. They have to fight a lot of battles. And they have a lot of enemies, right, in the process. They want to know when they're in your arms that they're protected. When they're around you, they're protected. They know you have their best interests at heart. Okay? You're protecting her from harm. This means you're praying for her. So number 3, she needs a protector, somebody who can safeguard her heart, somebody that she knows is not going to play around with her emotions, is not going to go around cheating on her and betraying her and toying with her emotions and playing with her heart, right? Somebody who cares about their well-being and shows attention. If you have a high value woman, she's always working so hard, which means that she might be tired. If you care about her, you're not going to burden her with things that could be done by someone else, right? If you want to hire a maid, hire a maid. She's going to do her best to still be a good wife. But if you ask her if she needs a maid, unless it shows you care, ask her, does she need a gardener? Does she need somebody to, clean her yard or something, right? Just show that you care about her so that she doesn't have to be exhausted all the time. Okay. Number 4, she wants a provider. And again, a provider doesn't mean somebody who has a lot of money. Sometimes you can use her own money to make her happy, to provide. But you just have to have a plan. You have to have a budget. You have to have a vision. You have to have goals. You can't just be, moving with the waves, right? Just going where the waves carry you. No. Right? You have to have a direction for your life, your family life, your couple life, right? So she wants somebody who can support her dreams, ambitions with resources and encouragement. And sometimes the resources are not money. You might have connections, right? Knowing the right people that can help her in what she's doing. You might even give her some advice, right? Sometimes some women just need somebody to see some of the things that they're not seeing from where they are. That's where you bring value. Number 5, she needs a refuge. She needs a safe place. She needs to feel like when she comes home to your arms, she is in her safe haven, right? Just give her that. Don't bring more trouble than she already has out there. Because some people will complain for nothing. Right? Just be a place where she can have peace and tranquility. That's all a high value woman is asking for. Somebody who gives her peace, not anxiety, that when you park your car, she's already anxious. She's already uncomfortable. She needs a peacemaker, somebody who brings her calmness, stability in her life, not somebody who's confused about his own life. So, one thing for sure, a lot of people think it's money, but it's not money that will make a high value woman happy. So, to sum up, if you want to date a high value woman, or if your wife is a high value woman, you can use these 7 secrets to make her happy. Remember, number one, be a visionary. Women like to follow the lead of the person that they love. Okay? Don't be confused about your own life. You're going to confuse her and she's going to walk away. Be a leader. Okay, be a leader in the sense that when you go around, she knows that you're powerful, you're charismatic, you know what you want. You don't go to places and you're just following everything that everybody's doing. She's gonna be like, oh my God, who is this person? Right? So show that you're a leader, have a plan, a clear goal, smart goals. Show that she can trust you, that you know where you're taking her. Okay? So be a leader, let her follow you. If you don't have a mission, there's no submission that is going to happen. That is clear. She wants a protector. Protect her. You can't go out there and be the first person to gossip about your wife. Don't be the first person that goes out there and tell your girlfriends about your wife. Don't go out there and disparage her character. Don't go out there and sabotage the work that she does. Don't go out there and do things that are going to be dangerous for her. Okay? Number 4, be a provider. A provider doesn't mean that you have to be a millionaire or a billionaire. It doesn't mean that you have to have so much money. It simply means that you have to have a plan. You have to know where your family is going to be tomorrow. How is the family going to take care of itself tomorrow? How are they going to have shelter, food, things like that? You have to have a plan. Even if that involves her money, you can have that conversation with her. But you need to, first of all, have a plan. Okay? She needs a refuge. She can't go out there and go through all the stress and then come home to more stress. There are things that you can do to make her life sweeter, better, and less stressful. For example, if she comes home and you see that you check her car, see the car isn't clean, how about you take her car to the car wash? How about you check the tank and put full tank so that she doesn't have to worry about stopping at the gas station when she's going to work? Right? How about you get somebody who comes and cleans the house, or get a maid or something to make her life a little bit easier? How about that? Just ask her, what does she need? How can you help her? Show that you care. How was her day? Is there something special that happened? Is there anything you can do to make her life a little bit easier? Be her refuge where she finds peace, right? And that's the last point. Last but not least, be her peacekeeper. Bring her calmness, not chaos. Don't bring. And last but not least, a high value woman wants a man who is emotionally intelligent. You can't be causing chaos around you. Or whenever there is chaos, you are more alarmed and like you're more scared than everyone else. Everything is scattered. No. Be the person that brings peace, that brings about direction. Okay? All right. Emotional intelligence it is. Okay? So it was your cash flow queen bringing you 7 tips to be with the high value woman. Until next time, stay happy.